1.5 million first-time claims last week. There are 20.5 million continuing claims. Jonas Prising is with me, Chairman and CEO of ManpowerGroup. I'm a little bit lost now as to where we stand, because we had better unemployment numbers, and I know this is not really about initial claims, it's really about continuing claims. So where actually are we?
Well, we are at a decade or multi-decade low as far as employment is concerned in the US as well as in most of the developed world. And, when you cite the unemployment claims that came out earlier today, it's good to know that this is about 2.5 times the levels that we ever saw at its worst during the Great Recession. So unemployment is, of course, very high right now. But I think what a lot of the market reaction is indicating, that it's looking past what is clearly a very difficult employment situation across the world and thinking about the speed of the recovery and how quickly things can go back to a future rather than normal.
And we're seeing that with we're showing the markets just at the moment, and they were showing a complete recovery. But, sir, the core question is not how many people lost their jobs during this crisis. That was like pushing an emergency stop, an instant stop. It's how many will not get their jobs back when things reopen. Do you have, from Manpower, better guidance for us on how many will be permanently laid off, lost their jobs as a result?
Well, Richard, it's a little bit early to make that prediction. Now, we just released a survey where we interviewed more than 40,000 employers across 40 countries. And in that interview, about half of the employers are saying that they are optimistic that we will see a recovery sometime during 2021. Now, remember, that was a survey that was taken at the end of April. So this was at a time when a lot of us were hoping and thinking that this could be a shock and then a very quick return. It'll be really interesting to see what the same answer or the same question solicits as an answer in September. But I think it's safe to say that as quickly as we could freeze the employment market, it's going to take a lot longer to thaw.
Right, but during that thaw, there's now talk about whether to extend the extra $600 a week that's been given to people, not given to them, it's part of the safety welfare net that's in this country, because Mnuchin and Kudlow and others in the Treasury team believe it's a disincentive to work. It's basically paying people more not to work than they could. Firstly, do you accept that premise? And secondly, would you be in favour of, say, a $400 payment for people when they go back to work?
Well, I think it's a question of what is your belief on how quickly the labor markets are going to come back. And as far as we can tell from the countries where we're seeing the lockdowns easing, the labor markets are gradually improving, but it's at a slow pace. So with that in mind, shutting off the extra support that has been given to U.S. workers already in July could be very dangerous, because we could be cutting it off. So in my view, it is probably very judicious to look at extending support, whether it be at a $600 level or $400 level, so we don't create a tremendous shock for the people that have been unemployed and are then potentially not getting back to work for many, many more months to come.
Always good to have your perspectives. I'm grateful, sir. Thank you for talking to us this evening. Thank you.